I just have fun with social media, and then I do business, which is my main thing. But I started with YouTube, and now I'm basically doing all this entrepreneurial stuff. I guess we're talking about it today.
That is what we're talking about, indeed. Davinci, why don't you? I mean, you've already been on stage, so why don't you just give an introduction?
Yes, my name is Davinci Jeremie. I have a YouTube channel called Davinci J15, where I talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the news as well. Also, obviously, I'm known as the guy who bought Bitcoin at $1. Actually, it was 67 cents. It was the lowest price I ever paid. And yes, I have a company called Davinci Codes where I write software, and I have software developers as well.
And Mr. Cryptokid at the end.
I'm Cryptokid, I'm 15, I'm one of YouTube's, I guess, youngest crypto influencers. I do technical analysis. I'm an angel investor into crypto projects, and my mission is to educate the new generation about crypto and emerging technologies.
So which company do you own?
Which company do I own? The weather is nice.
He's his own entrepreneur. He's a kid entrepreneur. So he's just starting out. He's here on stage learning from the best.
The weather is very nice today.
He's making way more money than you did when you were 15.
Ooh,
actually, maybe not.
It's already started on this stage.
Maybe not, actually.
His candy business is very profitable.
Exactly.
Alright guys, calm down over here. Okay, let's start off by discussing the importance of entrepreneurs. Each one of you has an incredible part in this space of shaping the future of the industry. So why don't we discuss how important it is to have entrepreneurs in the space, to give them the opportunities to create new projects and build the future. Carl?
Yeah, so everyone always says that crypto is the future. I say it, we say it, and you can hear it even sometimes in the media. They say that crypto is the future. But the more we say it, it's not going to just become the reality. Someone has to be there and build the future. Someone has to create the companies. Someone has to invest in the companies. And someone has to make sure that the companies also reach mass awareness. So that's what I feel is my responsibility to push crypto adoption. So one of my biggest things that I want to bring to the crypto world right now is cryptojobs.com. It's a crypto jobs board, and I want to be part of the fundamentals of crypto, where I connect the talent with the companies. And I made so many investments in so many companies, so I know the CEOs of some of the most successful companies in crypto, and I also have a few million followers on social media, so I can so easily connect the talents with the companies, and I do that on cryptojobs.com. And yeah, it's basically me being part of the crypto future, but building it on the front lines. And then also, I cannot create hundreds of companies, but I can invest in hundreds of companies, which I did, and I am doing. So I have invested in more than 400 crypto companies, and that number is going to rise because I am so bullish on crypto, and I want to be involved in as much as I can in this industry.
Yeah, when we do talk about entrepreneurs in the space, I mean, you all are so pioneering. We wouldn't be sat here today, I don't believe, without people like yourselves who really are pushing the industry. So Davinci as well, for you, how important is it to nurture more entrepreneurs, more businesses, give people job opportunities?
Yes, actually, when I first started Davinci Codes, I only did it to actually, build the company so I can have people depend on me, because I had so much money back in Chile. I was like, okay, so what am I gonna do? Am I gonna just spend it with cars? Well, I didn't like cars, fast cars, as most people know. Like you remember at the Mansuri? I didn't give a fuck about that.
You didn't enjoy the Mansuri. Who is this guy? Get him off the stage.
And so I was thinking, well, so where I was going to put my money, so I said, you know what, I'll just build a company, and I started that. And it was enjoyable, right? I think building something that's going to grow and help other people is the reward in and of itself. And then the thing is, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about how business should operate. and grow. So I think people should join into this space, and once they do make some money from crypto, they should build their own business. Because here's the thing, right? Money is great when you get your fast car, when you get your yacht, your super yacht. Okay, what's next? What are you gonna do, right? Hopefully you'll do something that's going to help somebody else, right? By building something with that wealth, and generate more wealth for yourself, and also help somebody else generate wealth. So that is a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. It's the impact you can have on the future generation. And then, of course, Cryptokid. How is that impacting yourself? How has seeing entrepreneurs like Carl and Davinci helped you in this industry?
It's very inspirational. When I first, like 2 years ago, I was watching both Davinci and Carl, and I was just super inspired. And I didn't believe that age was a barrier to achieving anything. So following their footsteps and watching their content and getting to meet them, I felt super inspired and tried to, do my own thing, have my own channel where I do TA and everything else. So it was super inspiring watching them. I'm currently, working on my stuff too. So it's super important that, educating yourself is the biggest aspect. You can't achieve anything that's worth achieving like that. So you need to really put in the hard work, and it's super awesome to watch, two of my big brothers, and it's a beautiful time learning from them.
I love how you call them brothers. I mean, it is like brothers in arms, going there, fighting against everything that's going wrong in humanity and helping to improve the systems that are in place to make people aware of crypto, Web3, and how much the industry has potential.
I'm glad he called my brother, not a grandfather.
And in terms of the industries within Web3 that you believe has a lot of potential, so in terms of crypto jobs, etc., where do you see the industry in the next year? What's going to be booming? Obviously crypto, or what part of the industry and the blockchain do you think has a lot of potential? Gaming?
I think, crypto gaming and crypto AI, but more importantly, AI. But there's always going to be people that come in and they will somehow make it combine crypto and AI, and I think that's going to be an explosive industry, because AI is going to itself become an explosive industry, and that's why crypto gaming also is important, because gaming is such a big industry. Where you combine crypto to it, you get a new industry. It will just take some time before people really start massively adopting these things. But AI, we're seeing it already. Like people are using ChatGPT, for example. Gaming is massively adopted. Like everyone's gaming, right? Like it's a huge industry. But now with crypto, let's see, it's going to be like an interesting future. So I'm doing many investments in crypto gaming and crypto AI right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's such a hot topic. Everyone's talking about AI. There are people who are very pro-AI, very against AI, but actually it's inevitable. It's coming. The same as cryptocurrency taking over. AI is also something that we're going to have to live with, but already utilising in everyday life. So, and Davinci, for you, what also in terms of industries do you think are important?
Well, unfortunately, we're going to see, of course, the meme coins dominate for the next little while.
What do you think of Pepe coin?
yes. Me and Carl called the Pepe coin pump. We did a video. What was it? 2 weeks ago, right?
2-3 weeks.
Yes. You told people to put in 3%. That made them multi-millionaires.
Yeah, if they follow down.
I said 1%.
What about at the moment now? If people are buying now, do you still think there's potential for meme coins like Pepe coin?
Yes. The hype is mostly because you can own a lot of these tokens, and believe it or not, right? The people spend $200-300, and you have a lot of people doing that. And what happens is the price, so the value of the asset moves very, very fast, because they use it on what's called a decentralized exchange, and a decentralized exchange operates different than a regular exchange, and so price can move fast, very fast, and very high on a decentralized exchange. And because of that, right, you can have this self feeds into itself, right? As people start to buy it and the price continues to go higher, people, even though it has no fundamentals, it will continue to push higher, and that's what happened to Pepe coin and all the other meme coins. So this is going to be the meme coin summer.
Oh, really? So you're saying this summer meme coin's going to be booming?
Yes, I really think so.
You heard it here first, people. Summer is upon us, and meme coins are upon us, according to Davinci. And FA, what about you? What do you see that's exciting in the industry in the next year?
In the next year, I mean, honestly, so I'm not a big meme coin guy, but honestly, I think it's just, psychology of people that, they want to get rich quick, and well, it works. But I think the next trend could be focusing on biotech, because if we analyze the top trends that we've seen in crypto, we've seen AI, we've seen, meme coin is not it doesn't count, but we've seen whatever happens in the world metaverse, for example, last year, whatever we see technological revolution, it affects the prices of projects in crypto that develop on these sectors. So I think that the next one that we can see after AI is potential biotechnology. So I think that projects, somehow manage to integrate that, or just because they have biotech in their name, they could pump when biotech begins to explode. So I think that's the next trend that we could see. But in terms of meme coin summer, I don't know. I think we've started to die out already, but it's my opinion.
Ooh, controversial. So we have some...
Why do you say that? It's on, game on. Why do you say that? Why we dying off?
I don't know, man. I think the hype's already been dried off.
Do you know who buys meme coins? Is it me? Is it Carl? Is it the seasoned veterans?
No.
No. Then who's buying?
The retail guys.
Oh, who is the retail? Who's the main group of retailers? People your age.
Yeah.
So.
And when they have free time, it's in summer.
Yeah, exactly. And what's coming? Summer, right?
Summer, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
I don't think it would be 15-year-olds. It'd be more like 20, 25.
Yeah, it's older people buying stuff.
Yeah.
20 to 30, 35.
Yeah.
Why
So
do you
did
think
you
that-
ask your friends in school if they had any Pepe coin?
They're oblivious about crypto, most of it.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Of
very
course, they're
interesting.
15.
That's very interesting.
It's
So you're saying
strange.
15?
Yeah, I know. It's that's why I think it's scary, because they should be the most aware about it, as they will be the future leaders in the space. So only one or two of them have heard about it and try to dabble into it, but it's really not that extensive.
Yeah, but look, they don't have money. Like, where do they get the money from?
Obviously, parents, right?
Yeah, but if the parents give them $50 and they dump it into a crypto exchange and buy meme coins, do you think the parents will be super happy?
Of course not. They would tell the parents that.
The problem is, right, they don't get exposure to this. So most of the things that my kids my age know is from what they've learned in school or what they learned from their parents. And if there's no, if they don't get access to stuff like this, then of course they don't become aware of it. So what's important is that we give financial literacy to kids and teach them about these new upcoming trends so they get involved more. So I think that's the problem.
I guess I was a different kind of kid back when I was your age. I was hacking banks back then, so.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah. Keep going with that one. It might not be related to entrepreneurs, but hacking banks sounds great.
No, why don't we elaborate on that?
Yeah, should we do that again? Let's reenact that one. We've got Efe here. He's only 15. He can get in trouble. It's fine.
No comment.
But getting back onto that topic, so talking about the teenagers of today that really should be the ones that are all for this digital revolution. Why do you think it is that they're holding back so much? Obviously, we said about them not having the money, but is it because their education's not there for them?
What you don't learn about money in school, and the reason it's pretty simple. If they did teach you about money, then you wouldn't have to work up through that ladder of education and then go start working for a corporation and becoming an employee. So they don't teach you about money and how to manage money on purpose. So if you're not aware about money, the way that I became aware of crypto was I started to be interested in finance, and I was watching Graham Stephan and all these guys, and then I found crypto. So that's how I got into it, because I found out about finance. But if you're not taught about finance in school, which is where you spend 70% of your day, then it's super hard for you to become aware of this and find time to pursue it. So I think that's the problem.
And as entrepreneurs, how do you think you can try and access the younger generation? Because it is quite concerning if FA is saying 15-year-olds have no idea, how are we then going to access 50-year-olds who probably have less of an idea of actually adopting cryptocurrency?
Should I add to that? I'll add to that because I think, the biggest thing was they know mostly about NFTs and metaverse stuff because it's cool, it's a trend, it's hype. And a lot of the psychology of teenagers is that they want to be cool, they want to have something that other teenagers don't have and show off, right? So when it comes to metaverse and NFTs, it was like a cool type of thing where Nike did something with RTFK, and that was cool. They knew about that. But when it comes to crypto, when it comes to the financial, the technology aspect of it, it becomes boring. It's a boring topic. So we need to mix it with GameFi, for example, like medieval empires. Then people become aware. Then they get educated through fun.
And Carl, did you have a comment based on that at all?
No.
Obviously, you are very much integrated in helping people, young people like FA, to try and help educate, and your YouTube channel as well is there to help educate the masses.
Yeah, I think that we can build like the 2.0 NFT, like Web 2.0 NFTs, basically allowing the company to hold the NFT for them. But then once they want to sell it, then you have to learn how to use crypto over here. And so that's one way to capture the people. But I'm kind of surprised that people your age is not into crypto because when I went to the Expo 2020, a strange thing was happening. As I was walking down, most older people did not know who I was. I was noticing kids were pointing at me and stuff like that.
You know why? It's so funny. Whenever I post something with you, my friends are like, "Are you that Davinci guy? Like the guy who bought Bitcoin and what?" So the reason why they know you is because you're famous on TikTok. Actually, you're super famous on TikTok. So you keep on popping up there. And of course, another way of reaching them is through platforms which teens use, which is TikTok is a big one, right? So
yeah, you're right because I got a lot of views on TikTok.
That's very true, actually. Yeah, I see Davinci all over TikTok, and it's necessary. If we want to reach more people, we want to build more entrepreneurs. The way of doing it is targeting the younger generation and making sure they're aware of what's happening in the space. Get them to come to conferences. You never see teenagers coming out and hearing more about the industry, really.
That's cool. Maybe we should have a teenage conference.
maybe I should do a Cryptokid conference.
Exactly.
Cryptokid
Ideas being born.
That is a great idea, yeah. Make it fun, make it interesting, have a lot more, as you say, based around what they enjoy, which is gaming, the metaverse.
Exactly,
That's a good idea.
We've just come up with the concept. Everyone here, when you hear about the Cryptokid game conference, you'll know it started here, the idea of it started here. And in terms of cryptocurrency, when are we predicting the next bull run? We haven't got long left, so each of you, when do you think the industry really is going to go back to the days that we saw a couple of years ago?
I think it's the Bitcoin halving is going to take the Bitcoin price up, and it's going to bring the altcoins with it. And I have a flashback from 4 years ago because I said the exact same thing, and exactly that happened because the cycles are so predictable. You cannot predict the exact price target, but you can predict the seasons very easily. So the season right now is bearish. It's a bearish or neutral cycle right now. We're in that stage. But after the halving, historically, it always leads to a bullish cycle. So I don't think it's going to be different this time. It's going to continue. And I don't know exactly what price Bitcoin will go to, but I think it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not $1 million, within the next 2-3 years. Very, very possible. And I'm betting on it. I'm keeping a lot of Bitcoin in my portfolio.
Well, it's exciting for anyone that's here in this room. I mean, that's what we want to hear. We want to be hearing that the whole industry is going to boom. Davinci, what about some predictions from you?
Yes, I agree with that prediction. I think you'll see prices start to move after the Bitcoin halving. I think this cycle will stop. Maybe this next cycle will be the last one because after that, the amount of Bitcoin that will be produced will be irrelevant compared to the amount that's already been produced, and it won't really matter. So we'll see Bitcoin move very high. Now, there is a case where Bitcoin can do something crazy this year, like absolutely moonshot to $1 million if the U.S. government defaults, right? It's still a distinct possibility, especially if another bank collapses. So that's why you want to hold a core holding of Bitcoin just in case the US dollar collapses. Because there is and when the dollar collapses, there's no news or event that you could say, okay, well, based on that, I better go buy some Bitcoin before it collapses. No. It's overnight. It's over. Immediately, everything gets repriced extremely high. So make sure you own some Bitcoin. You own some gold and silver if you don't like Bitcoin, because that day is coming.
Diversify your assets, basically. Make sure you're not just holding US dollar, especially with everything that's happening at the moment. FA, please.
I think, yeah, technically speaking, it looks like, it mathematically would be after the Bitcoin halving, because if you look at the previous analysis, we saw the massive bull markets come after every single halving. So theoretically, it should happen after the next halving, and I do think that we could potentially go back up to the 69 or even above, because that's what we've done. We've always broken the previous high. So I think 2024 is possible, but if we have an external factor like the US defaulting, then I think, because Bitcoin, as Davinci mentioned previously, it's a store of value. So people need to find a place to store their value in. And if that's not going to be the US dollar, then it could very well be Bitcoin, or the yuan, or even gold and silver, but Bitcoin more so, as we believe. So it's already, we're at a small relief rally. What I would personally recommend from my experience, of course not financial advice, but DCing into Bitcoin daily with amounts that you're not willing to lose. Therefore, in the long run, you've got a nice average buy-in price, and you're pretty much good to go for the bull market. So that's what I would say.
Well, that is some fantastic advice for everyone that's here today. We have just run out of time. I usually get you guys to give us a summary, but we haven't got time. But maybe we have a little bit of time for questions. Is there anyone out there that has any questions for our panelists? Do we have a microphone to send around? I mean, I can run down to to get the questions. Yeah, let me run down. I'll run out to the audience, why not? Get my legs moving. Okay, what questions do we have? This gentleman here first, just because I saw him first, and then I'll be back. Here you go.
Thank you. I just have one question. What are your guys' thoughts on GBTC, which is the ETF in the United States that mirrors Bitcoin? What are your thoughts on holding that as a proxy for Bitcoin? Have you heard of that, GBTC?
The grayscale.
It's Grayscale, the Grayscale ETF.
Yes, here's what I think. If they can show me their coins, then I would recommend it. So when we was asked, oh well, no, Coinbase has it. Okay, well, Coinbase showed the coins. So no, we can't say it showed the coins. So it's for security reasons. Okay, but you can show the coin where the coins are with the sign with the key address, and so people can see that they have them all. They don't want to do that. So if they're not doing that, then that means they don't have the coins.
So
plain and simple, 100% guaranteed, locked in. They do not have your mofo coins.
yeah, you're right. And so you think that there's an added element of risk because of the fact that the company is not revealing or proving.
I find it actually beneficial anyway, because you make an ETF, you get access to more institutional investment, but if those institutions were to directly purchase Bitcoin, they have it, in hand, and it's not, they can't.
They can't. Most institutions can only purchase stocks, and the stock is, an ETF is a stock basically. It's not like on a commodities exchange, so they have, especially if it's a retirement fund, they can only purchase ETFs.
Really?
And just one final thought.
Pass the microphone to her. Thank you.
Okay, so we were just talking about having some kids conference and educating them about this whole crypto thing. So do you think that the teenagers they have this kind of maturity about the financial and the technological environment, whatever is happening, that they can understand which cryptocurrencies actually bring in the value? Because what I think of is most of the kids would really go for the meme coins instead of actually finding a value in a cryptocurrency which is backed by something. because of the kind of understanding they might have about the financial or the technical sector as of now?
Yes, because unit bias, right, is common for everybody, right? When you go to the grocery store, you don't buy 1/100 millionth of an apple. You want to buy the whole apple. And so people see Bitcoin, okay, well, I want a whole Bitcoin. I don't want like one 1/100 millionth of a Bitcoin. That's nothing. I feel like you've got nothing, right? So when you have when you spend $1 and get 400,000 of a specific meme coin, what you do is you sit there and go, man, I'm rich when this thing goes to $1. Because it's gonna go to $1 a coin. And so, yeah, that's why the meme coins is so attractive and luresome, because it seems like a lottery ticket, right? Everybody looks at me as the person who bought Bitcoin as $1, so they want to be the one person who buys, the next coin for cheap and becomes super rich. And that's the whole game.
Yeah, it's true, and the thing is, right, it's way harder to, not just for teenagers, but for anyone. It feels like a lot of hard work to actually research and try and predict which one will work out. So it's always easier to follow a trend that's working out. So that's the problem. But really, when you invest in crypto, you're investing in businesses, and you should be able to see that which business model is actually working and which is likely to become very, very good in the future. So instead of jumping on trends, you want to invest long term, and you want to invest in companies that are most likely to become successful and stay there in the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah, I think it's very important that even the fundamentals are that children understand finances first and foremost, understand how the original, the alternative financial systems works, and then when they understand DeFi, they understand crypto, it ties together for them. They see the flaws in the central banking system and then actually see the positives within the industry and why it's important for them to evolve and why they should hold some assets within cryptocurrency. So I think it's just a huge educational curve, not just from a matter of cryptocurrency, but actually understanding the banking system as it is now. Because no one's taught about it. You're not taught about it in schools.
If it's not taught in school, I can't imagine any 15-year-old in their free time other than me, just sitting and reading about the mystery of banking and all these things.
Yeah.
So
we've got a whole transformation. That's what I say with events like this, any sort of educational events, we're all learning it in this industry, and that's why it's so important to make sure the younger generation have that ability to learn as well. You all do your YouTube channels. Let's hope more and more people watch it and actually take on board what you guys are saying. So thank you so much for our incredible panel. That was F.A., Davinci, and Carl. Please give them a huge round of applause.